everybody, and welcome to my channel. For today's video, we are going to be aligning and balancing the triple goddess energy within us all. The particular focus for this video is on the Crone. So I'm approaching this from an energy work perspective. I'm a Reiki master practitioner. If you're new to this channel, welcome. So I'm going to start off by doing a little bit of clearing in your aura. I usually use selenite wands, but for today I'm going to use some black kyanite. We have a lot of black stones that we're going to be playing around with for this session. So let me grab my black kyanite and we'll begin. The crows have joined us for this session, which feels appropriate. So I'm going to be using this black kyanite wing, and starting at the crown, I'm going to move down and clear any energy you may have brought into this session, while we begin to chat about the aspects of this powerful archetype that is often misunderstood, misrepresented. So for starters, the crone is associated with the waning and the new moon, the dark moon. The crone is associated with autumn and winter very often. The crone is associated with the final phase, with death. She is also associated with wisdom, intuition, clearing the way for new beginnings. So this is the third video in the Triple Goddess series, our final aspect. And it's a cycle. Maiden, mother, crone, clearing the way for the maiden to reemerge. Mother, crone, in a beautiful cycle. For our session here, balancing and aligning these energies, anything that comes up here, anything that might feel threatening to you, either about the crone energy, or perhaps you might be in the crone stage of life and anything that feels triggering, talking about the maiden or the mother aspects. If you feel some sort of a threat as the crone energy from that pressure to be young and beautiful and full of vitality, just recognizing that sometimes these external sort of social pressures, this fixation and obsession with youth and beauty, sometimes we can internalize that and we can begin to really believe in that hierarchy in terms of these different energies. We can start to believe that the maiden possesses things that are more desirable than we do. We may start to believe that the mother possesses things that are more necessary than we are able to provide. And so recognizing those things that might come up, anything that feels triggering or threatening perhaps, inviting awareness into this space is going to be the first step in seeing this as an opportunity for healing. As uncomfortable as it might be, remembering that the crone, one of you so beautifully said this in the comments, is the embodiment of all of these. The crone has lived that experience, which is where the wisdom comes from. And so to recognize that the maiden, each of these different phases has their own set of challenges. In the maiden phase of life, we can feel very confused, maybe lost, and caught up in a torrent of emotions that we might not have the footing and grounding for wading through quite yet. There may be pressure externally put on us to behave in a certain way, and maybe we want to rebel against that, but don't know how to do that and also maintain our power. There are so many challenges in the maiden phase, moving through that. And so if we oversimplify that phase, I think we're missing a real opportunity to step into the light of the crone, which is the wisdom, the sweeter fruit, the riper fruit, the sweeter fruit, more nourishing. So the ability to be a guide, to step forth without condescension, without being patronizing, because we have lived the experience. So we can now have the gift of empathy, understanding where those who came before us have been, where they're walking, how they're moving, understanding this, and providing this, this guidance. Just wanted to mention that here, that all of these aspects work so beautifully together. And anything that feels tense or tight or triggering here, any blockages that you're noticing coming up, that's beautiful. That's why we're doing these balancing sessions, to bring up what might be triggering so that we can start to do some shadow work. So seeing the darkness and feeling comfort within that darkness, that's another aspect of this archetype. I am very comfortable with the crone energy. I've always been fascinated with that. Going into the dark places and seeing what's there. I think that's the Scorpio in me. going into that darkness and seeing what we can learn from it. Lovely. Just taking some of this sage and moving it through your aura to do some further clearing here. So I see this energy in part as sort of the Tower card in tarot, clearing the way, clearing the path for new beginnings. The crone can be associated with destruction, demolition, death. Again, wisdom, guidance. Intuition. Clairvoyance, clairaudience, all the clairs. There is so much beauty and power in the crone. And while it is unfortunate that we don't have a great deal of respect often for this incredible phase, there's so much to be learned here and so much beauty and power to really harness. So, really inviting in the power of the crone into your life. The beauty of the crone. If you are in the crone phase of your life, you are so lucky. Not many are afforded the opportunity to rise to this final phase. Gorgeous. I love using sage, especially for this type of energy. Gorgeous. I'm just going to be using this spray just to thicken up your aura. So in the crone phase, we can really tap into the energy of the healer, of the one who is the beacon of light, capable of seeing far and wide and providing knowing guidance, a sense of understanding. If the mother is the sort of the nurturer, the crone can be the guide. These little flowers, all of the ones that I've put in my hair for this series, are from my little garden. And I've been growing some black flowers. These are black petunias. Connecting with the earth can be a beautiful part of the process of balancing the crone energy, who is often associated with the earth element. So there is a quality of tenderness in the healer. There's also the real ferocity of destruction to clear the path. It's a very unique and interesting archetype. I think very often the Maiden energy can feel greatly intimidated by the Crone energy, even as it resides within us. The feeling of being innocent and being wise, holding the two at the same time. Feeling foolish and also feeling a great understanding of it all. Integrating the different aspects to create the whole. Obviously, this video is just meant to be fun and relaxing, as well as balancing these aspects. So we do want to have and hold all of these in balance and harmony at once. Going to now light this candle and we'll set our intention. If you're doing this along today, several of you mentioned that you do that, and when I said that in the previous video, you mentioned it again, and that makes me so happy. It just makes me feel even more connected to you, knowing that you're doing it along with me. But even just viewing it, I feel very connected to all of you. But I just do think that's really cool. So if you are following along with your own candles and things, we're gonna light our candle now. On behalf of your highest, wisest, most empowered and aligned self, in loving comfort and perfect balance, I wish to conduct this distance Reiki session for balancing and aligning the energy of the triple goddess within you. inviting unity into the aspects of the Maiden, Mother, and Crone. Healing anything within you triggered by the Crone energy. Soothing. Soothing what needs to be soothed. Activating what needs to be activated. To bring harmony to the Crone within us all. Lovely. I'm going to place this over here now. Now, I've just lit this incense off of our candle. And so I will now draw the sacred Reiki symbols about a foot away from your heart center. Before I do that, I've just remembered there is a new moon coming up on May 11th. So I'm going to be doing another new moon live stream. Thanks to you all, I was able to purchase a new microphone for the live streams. So hopefully it works and it goes well. But I will probably do a community post here on YouTube about the live stream for the new moon. But if you wanted to join, I will leave a link to our previous live stream preparation video for the new moon so that you can have everything that you need, and hopefully you can join and we can have some fun on the 11th, I believe, to set intentions and manifest together for this cycle. I was reminded of it because of the Crone, that new beginning, carving the way and things like that for new beginnings. So anyway, thank you to everyone who joined for the previous live streams. It's been so much fun. I really loved it. I'm really excited for this new moon. Okay, so drawing the symbols again about a foot from your heart center here. I feel like the master symbol, the one I just drew, really feels like the Crone energy. This wisdom, this highest self, this deep understanding. There's compassion here. It's sort of a different flavor of compassion to the mother energy that we covered in the previous video. It's more a nod of understanding rather than an understanding embrace kind of vibe, from my point of view. Lovely. Here are the stones we're going to be playing around with for this session. We have a smoky quartz point. We have a Shivalingam for balance. We have black tourmaline, black obsidian, snowflake obsidian. Those would be great. We have the black kyanite, which we used. We have an amethyst. And then we have a black fossil to use as well, in case you wanted to join. So I'm going to start by using this smoky quartz. I think smoky quartz is a great one for balancing above and below. This real sense of creating a harmony between the lightness and the dark as well. So I think that this is going to be a really nice and powerful stone for this practice of balancing the energy of the crone. If we find ourselves tipping too far into that darkness without shedding any light there, obsessing over the darkness without inviting in this sense of using it for understanding, using it for learning, using it for developing skills, using it in order to become a better guide for others, to be in better service of others. And rather we are just harping on and focusing on the element of death, loss, destruction, or maybe we even might find ourselves in a cycle of creating that death and destruction in our lives. We just want to bring awareness here. We're going to be using this stone to help balance that energetically so that we can then invite in more of the alignment with the goddess aspect here, that there's this divine connection, the wisdom, learning from these experiences in order to help those that come after us, learning in order to be a better healer, learning in order to move with more grace through challenges, right? So just creating some balance here. And really, this energy is very much like it's up to you to have a balanced life. That's the voice of the crone. You have the power to have a balanced life. It's up to you, despite the challenges, to step into your power. It's up to you, my dear, to find joy in your life despite the darkness. It's your job to carve through the dark places and see how you can bring out the light. What you can learn from the shadows to better navigate them next time. So in a lot of ways, we're talking about kind of a tough love energy happening. Which I think we all need. Paired with the beautiful energy of the mother that nurtures you and validates your experience. I think we also need the crone to say, you are responsible for your life. Blaming others for an unhappy life will not make you happier, my dear. It's time to step into your power. It's time to take responsibility. It's nice to have both. I'm now going to take these 2 pieces of black tourmaline. These have been cleared and these have been charged. So they're very powerful, and these are great kind of dumping stones. So if you want to do an energetic kind of dump, you can just place the energy into these stones. Make sure that if you're using black tourmaline or black kyanite as well, because they're not self-cleansing stones like something like selenite. So just make sure you do some nice clearing for these stones. But I'm placing these by your hips just to let this energy be pulled out, kind of sucked out through this area in the roots. Any fear surrounding this energy coming out, anything to do with discomfort, safety, anything like that. We're just pulling that out. I'm now going to carve through with this amethyst cluster, carving through and then filling up with this shivalingam for balancing. Like combing through the little cluster, detangling any of that energy that might be knotted or blocked here. The Crone energy says, it's never as bad as we think, because even in the darkness, we can find great lessons. Now, if you're experiencing great grief and loss, this isn't to invalidate that at all. Again, it is about balancing all of these to create the triple goddess energy within. And this is not to invalidate your experience in any hardship. To say that things have been perfect in your life, not at all, not at all. But rather, the Crone says, you have the power to move through that darkness. You are strong enough to move through the challenges. Come out on the other side with more wisdom, more power, more strength, resilience, a deeper understanding of yourself, and a deeper understanding of others. Lovely. I'm going to place this amethyst right on your third eye. Really help activate the intuitive mind, that wisdom, And now I'm going to place this Shivalingam right on your sacral, balancing this energy here. Lovely. I'm going to take this fossil and we're just going to be moving through and kind of pulling things to the surface. I'm going to be balancing this with this cute little pineapple quartz. So drawing out anything that you might be afraid to look at. Drawing it out. Drawing it out. Doing that deep shadow work is so important for our healing. Shadow work is a lot about looking at things that trigger us and starting to investigate those areas so that we can bring understanding and eventually healing to these spaces. It's a lot of what we do on this channel anyway, kind of naturally together. Okay. Just pulling out anything that may have come up. As we are born, each of us, we all must die. And if we can practice seeing the beauty in the connection that can provide for us, we are here together against all odds on this beautiful planet. And we were all born, each of us. We all will die. But right now, we are here together. What are we going to do with this beautiful life that's been given to us. The destruction that the crone represents can be destroying old patterns or behaviors. The candle likes that. Old beliefs. This can be about the death of certain ideas, the demolition of our past life, so that we can pave the way for something new, for that new energy to come forth. You can follow this cycle no matter where you are. If you're watching this and you're 70 years old and you want to tap into that energy of destroying this life so that you can rise anew with a fresh start, fresh perspective, fresh behaviors and ideas tomorrow morning, I now leave this open for you to do that here. Use this energy to shed that skin. Use this energy to make room for new by clearing away the old beliefs and ideas, patterns. Likewise, if you are 21 and watching this video, you can use this energy of the crone to remove anything, shed anything that is no longer in service of your potential, of your higher self. Tapping into the wisdom of the crone at any stage and any age can be such a powerful practice. All right. I want to close the final video in this series, and the end of this final video using our owl rattle. Owl, the animal associated with wisdom, with darkness, with the night. So we're going to start at your crown, which the word crone comes from crown, the wisdom of the crown, the connection to the divine, the protector. The crone can be your protector. These archetypes are available for you to draw upon now. If you're doing any spirit guide work, I have a spirit guide video that I can link below. But any of that spirit guide practice that you're engaging in, you can now call in these archetypes. All right, so starting at the crown in honor of the crone. You are divine. You are connected. You are expressive. You are loved. You are strong. You are creative and you are emotionally balanced. You are safe. You are safe. You are free. You are protected. You are the maiden. You are the mother. You are the crone. Thank you so much for joining me for this session. I'm sending you all a giant hug. Until I see you again, be very, very well. You're just making sure that your little friend is receiving the kind of care and attention that they need. And so, you can already start to kind of do some hands-on healing. Reiki with Anna.